Well, here we are back in the draft lab. This time we've got the defensive back 7. Now, the most controversial prospect probably in the entire draft, Manti Te'o. Notre Dame's not on this board. You don't see it anywhere. The number 1 player, though, for both of us, D. Milner out of Alabama at cornerback. I know we both believe that he belongs in the top 5, but which is the player out of all of them that you think has the greatest upside?
Well, I think upside doesn't have to be the elite of the elite. It can be a safety who's right now number 3 on my safety list, behind Kenny Vaccaro from Texas, behind Matt Elam from Florida, and that's Jonathan Cyprien from Florida International. T.Y. Hilton came out of his program last year, wowed everybody over as a rookie with the Indianapolis Colts. Jonathan Cyprien is a safety who's got range, he's a ball hawk, he's aggressive, and he's complete. Now, I really believe that this is a kid really starting to put it all together, and when he gets into the NFL, when you think 2-3 years down the road, his upside to me is through the roof.
And he's one of many safeties we could see in the first couple rounds, maybe the deepest safety class in the last decade. A player that was a safety, Alec Ogletree from Georgia, is my greatest upside guy in terms of the defensive back 7. He's a middle linebacker now. I'm convinced he can play inside, he can play outside, he is scheme versatile, and just watch this. If you're a Tampa 2 defense, you're looking for a middle linebacker, he goes about 30 yards back, high points the ball, great ball skills, and forget the numbers, he is an explosive football player. He is all over the field, sideline to sideline, Kuiper.
Lee Corso is going to jump in right now and stop you and say, not so fast, my friend. There's some risk with Alec Ogletree, too. He's got to stay focused on the job at hand. There's some off-the-field concerns. He's not a physical take-on, Mike man, traditional guy.
Better than
all right, a little better maybe, but bottom line is, while there's upside with Alec Ogletree, I also think there's some risk.
We'll agree to disagree, and I think it might be the same for my risk guy, Jarvis Jones, staying in Georgia. Listen, I really like him as a football player, especially as a pass rusher. But where's this scheme fit, first of all, is my question. He's an undersized defensive end hybrid outside linebacker who will only fit in a Ravens-Steelers type of outside linebacker 3-4 scheme. Now, you move him to 4-3, he's not great laterally, he's not great dropping in coverage and doesn't have a lot of experience. And you have the spinal stenosis, questions about the medical. I think Jarvis Jones is a risk because you're probably going to have to spend a top 15 pick to get him. All right, wave me off, but how about the guy under the radar at this point?
I'm going to go to Southeast Louisiana and a cornerback. There's a lot of cornerbacks going to come off the board. They always do, Todd, in the first 3 or 4 rounds because you don't need 2, 3, you need 4. And Robert Alford's a kid out of Southeast Louisiana. Ball skills are excellent. Kid had a very good Senior Bowl week. I saw him early in the year against Missouri. This is a kid that could have played at any major college, and I think then maybe been a first-round draft choice. I think Robert Alford, early to mid day 2, second-round area, comes off the board and becomes a heck of a pick.
I like that call. And C.O. Moore is another player I like coming out of UConn. It's not a small school level, but he didn't get a lot of national pub. And Moore had 268 tackles the last 3 years. He also had 16 sacks, 18 pass breakups, 4 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries. You get the point. The guy does it all in a league.
Just like a little bit, Todd.
You've got to get after the quarterback, and you got to be able to cover. C.O. Moore does a little bit of everything. This group is loaded. The defensive backs, the linebackers, guys who can rush, guys that can cover. I'm fired up to watch these defensive backs and linebackers come late April in the 2013 draft.